In this lesson, we will begin to examine how Design Modeler can be used to create a rectangular solid extrusion. We'll start at the point after the ANSYS Workbench program has been started. Before we create any geometry, we'll make a modification to the coordinate system's orientation by first clicking on Options as shown here. Now, in the Options window, we'll click on the plus sign next to Design Modeler, followed by clicking on Miscellaneous. In the Features area, we'll now click on the line that is labeled XZ, ZX, Plane Direction for New Parts. A drop-down arrow now appears that we'll click on, followed by selecting the option XZ 0, -1, 0, as shown here. In order to make use of this new setting, we'll now click on the OK button, followed by clicking on the geometry icon in the Start window. Since we'll be using millimeters, we'll make sure that this option is selected and then click on the OK button. The next step is to select the plane on which we will sketch the profile. We'll do this by clicking on the XZ plane that is listed in the Tree Outline window. In order to change the orientation so that our sketching plane is parallel to the screen, we'll click on the Look at Face icon. We are now ready to sketch, so we'll now click on the Sketching tab located at the bottom of the Tree Outline window. In the Draw window, we'll now click on Rectangle. As we can see, the cursor has now changed to an icon that looks like a pencil. Now we'll position the cursor at the origin and click the left mouse button, followed by moving the cursor up and to the right as shown here, and then click the left mouse button again to define the rectangle. In order to define the size of our rectangle, we'll now click on the Dimensions option as shown here. The first dimension we will define is the vertical distance between the top and bottom horizontal line, so we'll start by clicking on Vertical. Next, we'll click on the top line, followed by clicking on the bottom line, and then move the cursor to the location where the dimension will be placed and click the mouse. The second dimension will be a horizontal dimension, so we'll now click on Horizontal. And then we'll click on the left vertical line, followed by clicking on the right vertical line, and then position the cursor at the location where the dimension will be placed and click the mouse. The next step is to change the values of these dimensions that are shown in the Details View window. We'll do this by simply clicking on the listed value and then keying in a value of 36, followed by pressing the Enter key for the horizontal dimension, and then repeating this process with a value of 16 for the vertical dimension. We are now ready to extrude our profile, so we'll first click on the isometric icon in order to change the orientation of our sketch. Next, we'll click on the Extrude option and then change the value of depth to 5. The final step to create the extrusion is to click on the Generate option.